Liverpool may have struck a transfer deal for Thiago Alcantara's long-term backup. The World Cup remains a tournament that has the power to throw a player out of relative obscurity into the hearts and minds of football fans around the world. Being in the final week of the tournament, any contribution made could become an iconic image in sports history. ENZO FERNANDEZ was a name that took advantage of this opportunity and fascinated throughout the tournament. He had only played 3 games for Argentina before the 2022 World Cup, all from the bench. The 21-year-old was initially performing a similar backup role in Qatar. However, he later scored a beautiful goal in his country's second game in a 2-0 win over Mexico. Fernandez started the next match against Poland. He assisted Julian Alvarez's goal and has remained in the game ever since. Now he is strongly connected with his transfer to Liverpool. To be honest, the rumors started before the World Cup started. However, speculation has been heightened by reports from South America that a preliminary agreement for a deal is now in place next summer. Fernandez joined Benfica from River Plate last summer. He will be under contract for another 4 years after this season. This shows that a close agreement is not easy. We'll see what happens, but he's definitely a very good player. Despite arriving in Europe at the beginning of 2022-2023, Fernandez's figures show he has already surpassed second-tier competitions. England, France, Germany, Italy and Spain are considered the top 5 leagues. FBref then has a next 8, which includes the Eredivisie, MLS, the British Championship and Portugal's Primeira Liga. In the FBref scouting report, Fernandez is in the top 1% of midfielders in the next 8 games with 23 different metrics and the top 5% on 12 different metrics. What stands out most is his passing and his ability to locate in key areas. According to StatsBomb last month, he has made 68 streak-breaking passes in open play and has taken the ball in the void 28 times in Region 14, more often than any other player in the Primeira Liga this season. Zone 14 is the middle area just in front of the opponent's penalty area, and from there Fernandez can regularly play balls. Only one player in Portugal has created more net chances in 2022-2023 than ENZO FERNANDEZ. It's fascinating to wonder how Fernandez would have connected with Darwin Nunez if the Uruguayan was still at Benfica. While their numbers may not stand out much in the Champions League or the World Cup, it's interesting to see which players are similar based on this data. In Europe's elite club competition this season, where he has scored and assisted against Juventus and Paris Saint-Germain, Fernandez counts Thiago Alcantara among his favorite midfielders. In both the Champions League and the international tournament in Qatar, he faced former Liverpool transfer target Aurelien Tchouameni in the final match. If the Argentinian man can deliver what these players are doing in the long run, then he's destined for the top. Fernandez's defensive numbers stand out more in tougher matches, which has helped him come to the fore faster. Benfica won 12 and drew one of their first 13 league games. Their dominance made it natural for their players not to be so involved in stopping opposing attacks. The Argentine's position in the top 4% of midfielders to tackle 90 minutes per Champions League this season shows that he can regain the ball if needed. With this feature, it can be imagined to be an important part of Jürgen Klopp's Gegenpress. There has been a significant decrease in pressure after Liverpool have lost the ball this season, and this has varied according to the availability of midfielders. ENZO FERNANDEZ can play a leading role in eliminating this deficiency. An already promising career may be on the verge of going stratospheric. The price tag of Liverpool's transfer target has been revealed. According to Santiauna, Atletico Madrid are among many clubs interested in the signing of Fiorentina midfielder and Morocco's World Cup hero Sofiane Amrabat. However, the 26-year-old player is also followed by Liverpool and Tottenham Hotspur. Amrabat hosted one of the biggest performances at the World Cup this year as Morocco played an integral part in the semi-final race in Qatar. The midfielder's performance was noted by many top teams who took note of his quality, and he managed to show himself in the world arena. On top of that, clubs are lining up to sign Amrabat in 2023, given that his contract with Fiorentina will expire in 18 months. Liverpool are said to be one of the clubs showing the most interest as Jürgen Klopp wants to sign Amrabat. While the Reds are already linked to many midfielders, it is anticipated that more than one midfielder will be transferred. It is alleged that Klopp has even spoken to Amrabat's managers and will have more meetings in the coming weeks. At the same time, Tottenham Hotspur are also making their moves for the 26-year-old player. Antonio Conte is said to be keen as he watches the Serie A midfielder in action. Atletico Madrid was the last club to join the two Premier League clubs in the transfer race. Rojiblancos will need to add new faces to their roster in the near future. Club captain Cope will not get any younger and Jeffrey Kondogbia has an uncertain future. While Amrabat himself recently admitted that he is honored by his links with Atletico Madrid, he also admitted that he has great respect for coach Diego Simeone. However, according to the reports, the Moroccan star prefers to transfer to Liverpool instead of Los Rojiblancos. Fiorentina wants to extend Amrabat's contract. However, even in the winter window, if an offer of €40 million is received for the midfielder, it will be open for sale. Given the current financial situation of Atletico Madrid, they can be considered foreigners in the Amrabat race. It is clear that Liverpool needs an alternative like Amrabat. Moreover, there may be a move in January to enter the top four. The second half of the league will be much more difficult for Liverpool and it seems necessary to add reinforcements. There are rumours that Amrabat could take on a role in the Liverpool midfield and could be Klopp's right-hand man on the pitch. João Felix is on Liverpool's radar. Liverpool are planning a move for Atletico Madrid forward João Felix in January. According to a report from Spanish sources, João Felix is on Jürgen Klopp's radar as the Merseyside Giants looking to strengthen their offensive units next month. Felix has reportedly fallen out of favour with Diego Simeone. Atletico Madrid is ready to monetize the player. However, it is unlikely to come cheap. It will be interesting to see if the Reds are willing to pay a big price for it. The 23-year-old has had a tough time at the Spanish club and hasn't lived up to expectations since his big money transfer from Benfica. Atletico Madrid clearly want to reduce their losses on the player and it is not yet clear whether they will be able to recoup most of what they have paid for him. He has recently linked with a number of English clubs. Felix has had little struggle with the Spanish club this season but looked like a completely different player for Portugal in the World Cup. He was one of the best attackers for his country at the World Cup and the young player will try to get his career back on track in the coming months by moving away from the Spanish giants. Liverpool need offensive reinforcements and Jürgen Klopp could be the coach to unlock Felix's potential. Klopp has promoted a number of top-notch attackers at Anfield since his arrival, and he hopes to help Felix thrive as well. Luis Diaz is currently on the sidelines for a few weeks due to injury and Felix will have an environment at Anfield where he can get regular game time. Felix has only started 5 La Liga games and 3 Champions League games this season. The 23-year-old has 4 goals in all competitions for the Spanish team. A transfer to Liverpool will give him the fresh start he needs right now. He will also get a coach like Klopp who will trust his talent and let him develop at his own pace.